I'm Michael Fox, and this is the Prospector News podcast. And I am on location at the Energy Transition Metals Summit in Washington, D.C. And I'm sitting across from an old friend, Terry Lynch, who's the CEO of Power Nickel. Welcome, and it's good to see you, Terry.
Michael, always a pleasure to see you. It's such a great venue. It's good to be here in beautiful weather. That's really great to see you.
Yes, it's nice to come to 30-degree heat. I had snow in my backyard 2 mornings ago, so this is a big plus for me. For those people that aren't familiar with Power Nickel, Terry, let's give them the 10,000-foot view of the company and what you're doing.
Yeah, sure. I would say we're most well known for our Nisk project in Nemaska, Quebec. So started off as a nickel sulfide project and now has morphed into what we would call a polymetallic deposit underpinned by nickel. And it's got a lot of high-grade copper, PGM, gold, and silver, as well as nickel. So pretty excited about the new Lion discovery that's just happened recently. And we're making some grounds here. Stocks doubled in the last month, and we think this is just the beginning of a big move for us.
Yeah, you guys had some good growth in spite of low nickel prices. So I can only imagine what's going to happen when those nickel prices start to take off and follow copper.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think probably what happened is because of the those 14 meters of 8% copper plus 70 grams of silver and half ounces of PGMs plus gold plus nickel. Those types of results don't come around but once every 25 years. So I think that was a shot across the bow of investors, and they saw this and realized, hey, this is a lot more than just nickel. We got to pay some more attention to it.
Yeah, no, definitely. So results, you've had a couple of news releases of results on the latest drill programs, and quite frankly, they were pretty impressive. So let's talk about the results.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, about a year ago now, we drilled our discovery hole in what is now being called the Lion zone. And it basically was about 8 meters of 1 ounce PGMs, platinum group metal. So platinum, about 20 grams platinum, about 10 grams palladium, something like that, 1.5% copper. So that was a great start. It was done in a winter zone. So it means we drilled, in a marshy area. So we had to wait 8 months to get back in there. So January, we got back in there. We drilled 16 holes in a sort of a fan pattern into this zone and probably hit 15 of the 16. I've released 3 holes to date, each hole better than the one previous. So the most recent holes, we had 14 meters of, basically 8% plus copper, 70 grams of silver, almost a half ounce of platinum group metals, a hit of about 0.6 nickel, 0.6 gold. So that's a super valuable rock. And then the second hole was 11 meters of virtually the same type of material. So a little bit more on the platinum, a little bit less than something else. But so this has become a very rich zone. And so we've now, as an exploration program, proven it goes really from surface down to about 275 meters. And it's about 225 meters wide, of which 100 meters is the real cherry of it. And that's where the very intense mineralization is, the chalcopyrites and this type of stuff. And so a very unusual ore body. I mean, we were struggling to find a comparable. And, as it turns out, and we'll learn in real time shortly, the comparable for this ore body is Norilsk, which is the world's only $1 trillion nickel mine. And it's basically a polymetallic discovery. I didn't know, but do you know how many ounces of gold Norilsk is?
I have no idea.
12 million.
It's known as a nickel.
Yeah. So they actually have 12 minerals there that pay, and they actually pay more than the nickel. So in a polymetallic discovery, you have this nickel, which drives the whole train. That's the movement that made it all possible. But your copper, your gold, your zinc, your et cetera, silver, the platinum, palladium, rhodium, whatever, all that adds up to more than nickel. So I think that's what we're transitioning to. So it's really exciting because obviously, nickel has had its day, and then it's certainly been the whipping dog of the metals, other than lithium, it probably has performed worse. But, I've always felt that nickel was overdone, especially North American nickel, which is a different animal. But, it's certainly, as opposed to having to educate investors as to why North American nickel is different, I just say, hey, how about the hottest copper discovery on the planet? How good is that? How would you like to talk about that? And now we're interested. Now we're getting the calls from the biggest investors in the planet because they're saying, we've seen your results and we think that's spectacular.
Yeah. Does it present any challenges having that many minerals to have to be processed out of the ore once it would end up getting mined?
Well, luckily, our partner in crime, CVMR, who's doing the feasibility study on the Nisk main ore body, is literally probably the world's best refiner of polymetallic or multimetallic metals. They've got the systems to do that most efficiently. And so we've got the best metallurgists on the planet working with us right now, and a partner that put effectively $5 million into the deal. So they're committed to trying to make that work. So will it be a challenge? Yes. Is it something we can deal with in a business process? 100%.
Perfect. Yeah. It's, sometimes, the scope gets so big that, it presents new challenges,
Yep.
and sometimes you don't get to see the forest through the trees because there's too many trees.
Yeah. No, I think here it's so rich that we're able to sort of carve it, and they have a very interesting approach to separating the metals, and they atomize things. So and they've got sort of chemical reagents that basically allow this process to happen in a very energy efficient and environmentally friendly way. And they've gone at things quite a bit differently than, say, a Glencore or BHP, who are using 100-year-old technology to smelt. This is a completely different approach, really. It's been around for 25 years, but they're continuing to upgrade the processes.
Okay. So the drill that's just come out, this is yet another target on this overall landmass that you guys are dealing with. So you've got your original target, and this new polymetallic target is further to the north.
Yeah, so we put about 5.5 kilometers from our core deposit, northeast. So the operating theory that we're running under is that these are all connected at depth, which would obviously be a ginormous package, but that's probably, I don't know, 55% chance that that's the case. 35% chance that somewhere close to the current line zone, there's another nickel sulfide project that we haven't discovered yet that is causing this to happen. And then 10% chance this is just an anomalous polymetallic zone that we don't know where it came from, but it didn't come from the nickel. That's what I understand from talking to the best minds in the planet on this. So, but we think that they're all probably connected, and that will have a very significant, once in a lifetime discovery here.
That's all pretty exciting. So, what's the future for Power Nickel going into this next drill period?
Yeah, so we set up the platform. Obviously, now that we knew about the marshy area, we were able to sort of, while it was frozen, prepare for that. So we're good to go. We'll drop the helicopter rig in just at the end of May, and we'll start drilling, and we can drill 20 holes from that location, and then we have another pad that we can do something similar. So we'll expect to probably drill about 8,000 meters in the summer campaign, and chase this down. So generally speaking, in the Abitibi-Archean belt that we're in, if your width is X, your depth will be 8 to 10 times X. So our width is at least 100 meters for the sweet spot, and there's a halo of 50 to 75 meters on either side of it. So we're right now, we're depth of 275. Likely that's going down to 900,000 meters, maybe more. That would be not unusual. And then the other thing that we believe is that these are not onesies, not historically anyway. Generally, when you get these high-grade shoots like this, they come in multiples. So we'll have to find them as they're offshoots, vertical on either side, and so we'll be chasing that. And so we'll be drilling hard here. That'll definitely take place, and we're super excited to get back at it.
Yeah, no doubt. So the end result of this, is it like one big giant mine, or are we talking a series of smaller mines up and down the discovery?
Yeah, I think that's to be discovered. I would say, in my mind, there's absolutely no question that there'll be a nickel mine, and there's no question that this current shoot, in my mind, will get mined, because it's just super rich. You think, yeah. I mean, I don't want to throw out any equivalency numbers and stuff like that, and get myself into trouble with BC Securities again. and you know that we're not obviously shooting for that, but I mean the hole that we did have, it would have been a, you know, if somebody had announced a hole of a 200 meters at 1% copper, everyone would be like, wow, okay, that's sort of like this, only it's better because it's in a lot less meterage, you know. So it means I don't have to dig out 200 meters of stuff. I can dig out 20 and get the same stuff. That's what you'd rather have. That's what we got.
Perfect. For investors, this is a ground floor opportunity, and lots of opportunity as this project grows and turns into a potential whale. If people want to follow Power Nickel, how would they do so, Terry?
Easiest place to do it is go to powernickel.com. There's you know, you can register there and sign in, and you'll get all of our communication. And we put all of our drill cores and whatnot online. It's very transparent. You know, I frequently give interviews, and you know, we're very accessible. You can set up, you can ask for meetings with either Duncan or myself, and we do this sort of like every couple of weeks where we will talk to shareholders directly. You know, I'm a big believer in talking to management myself and any investments I make, so I get that, you know, for people, and obviously, yeah, we're trying to you know, communicate the story. I said to people, they said, oh, you know, did I miss it? You know, the stock's doubled. You know, I'm saying, no, man, it's just started. I mean, this thing was in a zone for 3 years. We traded between, you know, 10 and 35 cents. So we finally broke out, you know, and usually these things, once they break out, they go in a rip, you know. So in my mind, it's just starting and you haven't missed it at all. And in fact, I believe you're, from an asymmetric risk perspective, you're way better off investing now with what we've shown you we've actually discovered than you were before. Now you might pay up a little bit more, but we've got so much more on the table. So you should be super excited about certainly considering it as a part of your investment possibilities.
Yes, as Rick Rule would say, we have a lot more known knowns now than we had before.
Rick's always got the great lines.
He does. I quote him regularly.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for your time and bringing everybody up to date with the drill results that just came out. And I look forward to seeing the results of the next drill program and how this monster keeps growing.
You know what? Over the next 6 weeks, we're going to have a lot of assays coming, right? I mean, that monster hole I released, I said that was a top 5 hole, implying there's at least 4 other great holes coming.
Oh, it's even better than I'm thinking.
Yeah. So you don't have to wait. It's coming.
It's coming
next week and 2 weeks from that, and so forth, so on. So lots of news.
Be looking forward to seeing that news flow.
Okay, Mike.
Thanks very much,
man.
Gary.
Thanks.
Cheers. The Prospector News podcast is for educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and are not to be taken as investment advice. Listeners need to do their own due diligence and seek advice of a licensed investment advisor.